So again, I've read up about kind of what you've done in terms of your study. So you've done Bachelor of Communications or Business.
Yes.
And so how, I guess,
ago.
what has your journey been? Like, how did you go from degree to here?
Yeah,
what are some of your highlights, I guess?
I think for many people, so I'm nudging 33, and I think for many people around this age, especially if you started in marketing, it was very different. It was very much like advertising, and there was no social media. That wasn't in our sphere of things to consider. Even when I was at university, email marketing wasn't really even a thing. Like, you just used email sometimes, and it wasn't that stuff, that digital realm of marketing wasn't really existent yet. So everything I learned was really around PR and advertising. So I essentially graduated and then went out into the world going, oh my God, I know nothing. Like, what is all this social media? What is all these different website platforms? What is this? So it was definitely learning on the job, which I think is a lot of people's experience in marketing. Like we were saying earlier, it's always changing. Like, you can't just go and get the degree, tick, I'm ready to go and be a marketer. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing. Like, you feel like you're on top of one platform and then another platform changes and everything. People want long videos and they want short videos. They want all different types of ways to interact online. So I did the degree thing, which was, I loved uni for the parties, really. But sure, got a great education, still paying for it. And then I kind of went out in the world and I thought I wanted to be a writer. I loved writing. I knew I wanted to do that. I had big dreams. Maybe I'll be a journalist. That never happened. And I ended up in a content writing role, which I was like, oh, what's content writing? And realized it kind of blended things I loved, like the storytelling side of journalism, but then also the kind of like engaging an audience side of marketing, and like all of those, they came together really nicely. And then through that journey, there was a lot of ups and downs through it, of course. I went away overseas for a few years, definitely did no professional development whatsoever besides personal life development. Came back and kept falling into these roles, which I wasn't even chasing, but it just happened. Like, I'd fall into these marketing roles and I'd end up doing a lot of copywriting and building audiences on social media. And because I just was like, I love writing, I love like connecting with people. And then you suddenly are like, oh my God, that's what social media is. Like, that's the essence of social media. But I think for so long, the penny hadn't dropped there at all. And I hadn't thought of social media even as something you do for work. It was usually in jobs, something on the side. Like, they never had a dedicated social media aspect. It was like, oh, can you post for us on Facebook? Or do we need something on Facebook? So it was all very accidental, which I think is great. It means you kind of have no expectations of what will happen or how you're going to perform or anything like that. So I was really lucky in the work I did. It was very generalist marketing that I got to kind of do it all, learn it all, experience it all, fail along the way, learn what works, learn what doesn't, get in trouble from Facebook and Instagram for doing something wrong, try not to do that again, all that type of stuff. And then it was kind of, I ended up accidentally again freelancing. Like, I'd have people I'd worked for previously ask me to do things here and there. And then it was like, oh, okay, so people can do this. Like, the concept of a side hustle hadn't really come up, or the concept of working for yourself. Like, I was definitely of a mindset, you work for someone and that's your life, and you follow what you're meant to do in your career, and you can only take work that the business has. You don't really get to add your own spin on things. And then, thankfully with Instagram, you get really exposed to a lot of different people creating their own businesses. And it was really great for me to see other women doing it and creating these amazing, flourishing agencies, like freelancers, but essentially they're a full functioning agency, like you would see kind of if you were at work hiring, outsourcing for consultants. And I was like, oh, okay, that can be a thing. I better Google how I get an ABN. And then it's all just kind of come to here. And I'm kind of like a lot of people at that crossroads of when can I go full time into what I love, which is doing marketing schmarketing, and kind of letting go of the, you know, the concept in your mind, you've got to stay in a 9-to-5 job, the security, the comfort and all that, and kind of take this step, which is a big part of that is self-belief, step into going out on your own and doing what you love full time.